Today's guest is Dr. Yasmine Saad, internationally acclaimed psychologist, TEDx speaker with over 100,000 views in just 4 weeks, and founder of Madison Park Psychological Services, recently honored on the Incorporated 5,000 list, dubbed the wise psychologist. Dr. Saad, a visionary thought leader, praised by USA Today for redefining how we understand the human mind. Her inner messages approach helps people decode thoughts and emotions to break negative patterns and unlock their full potential. She shared stages with icons like Deepak Chopra and Tony Robbins, and her work has been featured in over 200 media outlets, including CNN, Forbes, BBC, and more. Get ready for an empowering conversation that blends wisdom, science, and real-world strategies for personal growth.
Just pick up the phone, but I can't help but feeling so lonely. Yeah. On a Friday night. Yeah. So and so.
Dr. Yasmine Saad, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh. Wow, this is just such an honor just to have you on our show right now. And our audience is super excited about hearing the things that you're going to unlock for them about the secrets of the mind and overcoming doubt and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about, basically this episode is why do I think the way that I think, and we're going to break negative thought loops with you. And like I said, we're so honored to have you today. But really, I kind of wanted to open this up, Doctor. You've been doing this a long time. I think you told me over 15 years for sure, correct?
Yes. Way longer than that, but yes.
Right. But that's really good because basically, the question is for most people, what's wrong with me? Not me personally, but just the people, because we get these negative thoughts in our heads all the time. And especially in my industry, in the creative world and dealing with models and talent and creatives, photographers, things like that, we always get these negative headspace in our minds. And you shared with me a lot of things in our conversation that we had personally a few weeks ago, and it was just amazing. And I want you to enlighten us. Why do we get in our heads the way we do?
So, since you're a child, you've been taught, don't tie your shoelace this way. It's this way. Don't do it that way. It's that way. So very early on, the right and the wrong is ingrained in our mind. And the right is the way to go. The wrong is the wrong way to go. So then the moment you have something negative, like, your thigh hurts, you have a negative thought, you think there must be something wrong. The moment you have something painful, negative, you will think there's something wrong. And that's how our brain is wired. It calls our attention through those negative thoughts.
Yeah.
In reality, there's absolutely nothing wrong. The fact that you have a thought, even a negative one, or a symptom or a sensation in your body is a sign that everything is working so properly, because those are fire alarm. They're alerts. They're here to tell you, hey, pay attention to this.
Wow. So basically you get these fire alarms in your head, and it's like, okay, it's a warning signal in your head. Like, hey, this is going on in my head because of your childhood, of the things that you started out learning as a child in your infancy stage. That kind of triggers that. Is that correct?
So almost. So there are fire alarm, and definitely. Now, it's not necessarily what you learn in your childhood. What you learn in your childhood is that there's a right and there's a wrong. Right. Then it's who you are and what you value. So if you value harmony, beauty, the moment you're not in harmony and beauty, there's going to be a fire alarm that said, danger, danger, what's wrong, doesn't look good, I don't like it. You're going to have a lot of negative thoughts to realign you with your values. So it's not necessarily that you went through something in childhood. It's more that fire alarm is here to realign you, rebalance you.
I love that. So How can we explore how they can feel true, but they're often not touched, they're touched on, right? If that makes sense.
Yes. So negative thoughts are like dreams. They're coded message. They carry something of reality, and you know implicitly that they have something for you, because most of us listen to our negative thoughts. Like, if you think I'm not good enough, you actually go there. So why would you? If you thought that you have that, why would you listen to your thoughts? So somewhere unconsciously, you know that it carries a kernel of truth. But the danger is most people take them at face value when they're more a sign, they're coded. So for example, if I'm not where I want to be self-esteem wise, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say I'm not where I want to be self-esteem wise. I'm going to say I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. I'm going to say it the negative way, and then I'm going to believe it. So they're not to be taken at face value, but they have to be understood for the message they carry. What is it, their purpose? What are they realigning you towards?
Right. Is it more prominent to have these kind of thoughts and feelings in females or males, or is it the same equally? Do we all go through this thing? Is it a certain percentage that have to deal with these kind of emotions?
We all have those fire alarms. That's the way the body and the mind is wired. It's wired to show something to you as a problem. But there are differences between male and female. And the differences is men, it's going to be thought that push them towards action, because men are fixers, solvers. They are in the doing realm. Women are more in the feeling realm. So therefore, the fire alarm is going to be a bit different. For a man, it's going to be like, how can I solve this problem? The thought is going to come for solving. For a woman, it might be the thought is going to come so that you introspect, so that you feel, so that you analyze. So that's where the difference is. Right.
So with these, when you take a female, for instance, and she has, like, I get this all the time. So like dealing with female models a lot, they do get a lot in their head, and they're emotional, and they're dealing. I felt like this, and I was feeling this, and it's like, whoa. I'm like, let me fix this for you, and it's super easy fix because I can handle it. But she's still in her feelings, and it's like, wow, how does she overcome that?
So when you're in the feeling, you're one with your emotion. So first you want to understand that emotion is a communication. So you want to take a little step back and you want to decode it. So for example, I feel sad. Let's say that's the thing. I feel sad. Okay, what is the thought calling your attention to? Sadness is always about a loss. It's a loss of something beautiful. It's always that. So that means that you are aiming for something more beautiful, and it's not there. And therefore, you're sad that it's not there. So in it, it carries that your own desire for something more beautiful, better, and your own feeling of loss, missing, that it's not there. So once you know that, it's about, okay, what can we do with that sense of something more beautiful you wanted? What can we do with that sense of loss? Sometimes you just feel it, you go through it, you are mourning and you get out of it. But other times is like if you sad because you lost a parent, right? So you realize when they were there, I felt more loved. Yeah. So that sadness is calling your attention to, you have to do something so that towards you love yourself. That person was giving it to you, but now it's you. And unless you do that, you're going to be in the sadness. And it's not necessarily the sadness of the person, it can be, but it's the sadness of what they did to you, for you. So that's where once you can decode that sadness, you realize, okay, I miss my mom because she was always so affectionate towards me, and now that she's not there, I don't have that. So, okay, how can we have affection in your life? What can we do? Can you do it from you to you? Do you need another person for it? What would it look like if you would give yourself some affection? What could we do? It's not going to replace your mom, never, but it can do something special for you.
Wow, that's powerful, guys, and that's some good advice, because like what I was thinking was like, because even in my industry, in the creative industry, you've got a ton of models up there in New York City. They go through things like this, and with that negative feeling comes those negative thoughts. Like, for instance, going to a casting call and the rejection, and looking at all these same people. So there may be in the room 20 other people that look just like them, and they get some insecurity feelings in their head. And how do they overcome that and just recognize, this is what's real, this is not reality? How does somebody overcome that?
So you want to think two ways. It is my reality because I'm feeling it, but it's not people's reality. So it carries a kernel of truth and a kernel of truth. So we want to decode it. So how do we decode? First, you ask yourself the question, okay, what is that feeling calling my attention to?
Right.
So it's calling my attention to my self-esteem. When you're rejected, you feel not good enough. You feel there's something wrong with you. So your self-esteem is not solid enough to deal with that rejection. So that means that you have not built your identity around who you are, your strength. You're not fully confident in your beauty or in your performance or in your talent. And so that thought right there, it's calling your attention for you to work on that self-esteem. Go back to who you are. Label who you are. Now, are you proud of who you are? Why not? What are you doing with that? How can you be? So it's not about feeling rejected and going spiraling down with it. It's about, I'm having a feeling around feeling rejected. What is the thought calling my attention to?
Right.
Self-esteem. Okay, my self-esteem is not so solid. Let me rebuild it. What do I need to rebuild it? Who am I? Do I love who am I? Why not? What can I do? Why do I devalue what I have?
Right.
That inner work will help that person so that the next time they go to a casting and feel rejected, it won't feel the same way. Because that thought was calling their emotion, was calling their attention, so that they rebalance internally, so that they step forward much stronger the next time around.
Wow. So is there a way to recognize the why? I kept hearing why. Why am I feeling like this? Why am I acting like this? It's not me. But how does somebody recognize the why behind that?
You ask yourself one simple question. What is the thought or the emotion calling my attention to? And you look at the big theme. So if you talk about rejection, it's calling your attention to self-esteem. Now the why, it's always because there's a crack in it. Otherwise it doesn't call attention, right? It's not fully solid. So the what is not solid is always the question, what is the thought calling my attention? Like if you feel sad, sadness is you're in loss of something more beautiful. So it's calling your attention. Yes. So I'm giving you different examples so that people can understand that it's just one simple question. What is the thought or the emotion calling my attention to? You will know what needs to be rebalanced based on that question.
Man, this is deep. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about this, because this is probably, a lot of people need to hear this and take the notes. You guys, write notes down. Some really good points she's making right now about dealing with your inner thoughts and the negativity and the things that pass through your heads, that you can use it to coach you to make a better person, is what I'm understanding. Now, guys, I want you to like and subscribe to the channel today. Our YouTube channel, our Spotify channel's growing. We're getting over 50,000 views a month between all the channels, and I'm super excited about having her on the show. This is some incredible material that she's given us right now. Please like and subscribe, comment. What kind of thoughts and emotions are you dealing with? We'd love to hear it and have a discussion about it. Okay, doctor. So really, you have this thing, this inner message approach, and I want you to explain that to can you explain that to the audience for us?
Yeah. So basically, every thought, every emotion you have, every physical sensation you have is here to deliver a message for you.
Right.
So, and the message is always a message, a protective message. It's here to balance you. It's calling your attention so that you pay attention to it. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing is, you have to decode, okay, what is that message? Because most of us, we have a thought, I'm not good enough, we feel not good enough, and either we spiral in it or we try to ignore it or replace with positive. But we never ever think why did that thought come in? What is it trying to tell me? And it's not trying to tell you you're not good enough. It's trying to tell you, one, your self-esteem is shaky. Two, you have a promised land, a better place that you want to be and you're not there. Third, you're really kicking yourself in the butt by saying that so that you get to your promised land. So it's also telling you the way you motivate yourself. So with just that thought, you know your present state, shaky self-esteem, your desired future, solid self-esteem, and the way you're getting there by really kicking yourself so that you get better, you do better, and everything like that. So now, can you imagine what you can do? You can decide to move forward in a different way, because I don't know about you, but a kick in the butt often ends up being a kick in the ground.
It really does. That's crazy.
Yes. So if you try to motivate yourself that way, you will sink deeper and deeper. And that's why we get even more negative thoughts like I'm not good enough, and they spiral.
Right.
So
Yes.
just by decoding that thought, you get so much information about you, and you know what you have to tweak, and you know what you have to build, and you know your desire and your goal, you know your present state, desired future, the path you're taking, and the obstacle along the way. That is the inner message approach. It's about decoding thoughts, emotion, physical sensation, everything that's happening in your life so that you move forward more empowered.
Yeah. That's so good, man. I could just take off my coat right now and drink a glass of tea right now, because this is good, man. I got like goosebumps just when she said that, because I think we can all use this, guys. And I hope you're listening and paying attention, and you're getting free notes here from something. And you can YouTube her on YouTube and find just all kinds of great information on what she does and things like that, and get more into this really. And it's really cool. Doctor, you know, I want to use the line from the note. I'm doubting my beauty, and I want you to tell the audience, why do those thoughts like stick, why compliments often don't? That's probably one of the bigger things for people, because you give people all these compliments, but they still have those negative doubts in their head.
That's right. So the negative thoughts stick for 3 reasons. 1, because it clicks. So if I believe I'm ugly and you tell me I'm ugly, I'm just going to believe you. It's going to click right away.
Wow.
Well, the reverse, if you tell me I'm ugly and I really feel pretty, I'm going to be, why is he mean to me? Like, maybe he needs glasses. But it's not going to affect my concept of beauty at all.
Yeah.
So the first reason why a negative thoughts enter is because it clicks. So that means internally, you might not be aware about it, but you believe something true about it. That's the first reason.
Wow.
The second reason is you're unsure. So let's say I'm not so sure about my beauty. I don't know where I stand. And you tell me I'm ugly. Well, I'm going to start.
Wow.
Maybe my nose, maybe my mouth, maybe he's right. I mean, my eyes are pretty, but my mouth and my nose are ugly. And I'm going to start debating. And so the negative thoughts would have entered because I wasn't sure. I didn't have a solid idea of where my beauty stand. That's the second cracks that I call.
Yeah.
And the third one is you decide consciously or unconsciously to wade in. And so what I mean by that is, maybe I decide, you know, this person knows so much. Maybe they know something I don't. Let me listen.
Mm-hmm.
And so you didn't think you were ugly, but you respect that person. You respect their sense of aesthetics, and you decide to listen based on that. Or the contrary, you want to shut that person up. And you're like, maybe if I listen, maybe if I say yes, they will stop.
Right.
A lot of people do that. They just want the other person to just shut up. So they say, okay, yes, I am ugly. And then they start believing it as a way of shutting the other person up.
Wow. And I think that comes with a lot too, like when especially in the modeling industry, a lot of models will do that, like to each other. They'll put on the negative connotation in their brain and get them to start thinking negative. And it's like almost like an internal war, like a personal war against somebody. And I don't think maybe they do intentionally do it. I mean, do you feel that people intentionally do that to one another like that?
So everything that people do is protective. So if you do it intentionally, it's because you feel it's protective. So it can be intentional or not intentional. But the idea is that maybe if you're debating in your head, it protects you from feeling hurt or being surprised by a comment. So you get in your head and you're debating in your head, or sometimes you go after another person because that's your way of protecting yourself from them getting to you. But every person will have their own reason for protecting themselves. But whatever is happening within their mind is their way of protecting themselves.
Oh, wow. So I guess that kind of asks the next question on why are we more open to these negative thoughts and taking those in more so than the positive ones.
Well, if I came to hug you right now, or I slapped you in the face, which one would you remember?
I'm gonna remember that slap. 100%. It depends on how hard it was, but yeah, I'll probably remember that. Pretty good.
That's right. And then after that, you'll be wondering, why did she do this? Like your mind will start thinking, will start wondering, will start working at it.
Right.
So now imagine I'm God or the universe or whoever, and I really want you to work at something. I want you to think. I want you to problem solve. I want you to evolve. I want you to grow. Will I give you a hug or a slap? Which one will... Yeah,
exactly. You're going to give me a hug.
I'll give you a hug. A hug will make you feel good, but it's not going to make you think and evolve and move.
That part.
But if I give you a slap, you're going to be thinking, how can I protect myself from her? Why did she do this to me? Like, it's going to make your mind start working, thinking.
Working a little bit more. Yeah, you're going to start thinking more and why did this person hit me? Why are they acting like this towards me? And that's when those negative thoughts start clicking around, and you got to go back and turn that clock back and rewind it and say, okay, let's analyze what just happened, right?
That's right. And you're going to try to figure out a way to be protected the next time. So you're going to try to figure out a way to not be hurt the next time. You're going to try. So you're going to evolve. You're going to be, hopefully once you resolve this, the next time this happens, it won't bother you as much.
Right. That's why you see people show their defenses and they back away, distant from the person, I guess, and then, or just not want to be around them, period, because that's their defense mechanism. Am I correct?
That is their defense mechanism. That's their way of protecting themselves because they got hurt. But most people, when they do that, they just ignore the trigger. They protect themselves by putting boundaries. And it is a good step. But unfortunately, it doesn't protect you from the inside. If you were to think about, okay, what triggered me here? What do I need to rebalance internally? Why does it bother me so much? And if you build something internally that the next time the person says something negative, it just doesn't affect, that is more powerful. That's why the negative, that's why the negative comes in for your evolution, because we grow through lack of comfort. When you're not comfortable, you're going to want to change. But when it's so lovey-dovey and so good, you're not going to evolve.
Wow, that's really good. And that's how people go through these growth lessons, because they're trying to reevaluate what happened and put these defense mechanisms in place, and then also trying to reconfigure their brain a little bit to think, okay, this is my protective zone, and how do we recover from that? It's like, wow, it's just so much that's in there. This is such good information that you're just giving to the audience and myself even, because I think we all go through these problems and all these emotions and stuff when we're dealing with conflict and we're dealing with rejection and inner thoughts and things like that. And it's just incredible. Guys, please like and subscribe to the channel before we move forward, because we're almost done, because our time is running up, and I hate this because it's such good information. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio. We look forward to hearing your comments and your suggestions. Please let her know what she did on this thing and how it's going to help you, and let us know about your emotions and things like that, guys. Okay, doctor, this has been absolutely amazing. And I want to say, I had another question for you too, a couple more questions before we wrap it up. So basically, how do we shift mindset, perception on this whole thing that we're talking about?
So the first thing is to really understand that any negative you have is coming so that you evolve.
Right.
So it's not meant to be rejected. It's not meant to be ignored. It's meant to be understood.
Yes.
And so that you can evolve. Once you have that, you understand that this toxic person, is just reflecting to you inner cracks you have. And if you go fix those inner cracks, that toxic person will no longer affect you. So you won't even need to put boundaries. They just won't at all affect you, and they'll just fade away because, they have no power over you. They have nothing. So you want to see the blessing in the negative.
Right.
And that's really hard, but that is the reality. So for example, if you've been abused, if you received a lot of violence, so where's the blessing in that? How could there ever be a blessing? Well, in that moment, life is asking you to digest a lot of violence. So that means you have to upgrade the way you process, digest, so that it can move out of you fast. And so that the next time you receive a violence, it doesn't affect, it moves through you fast. So that's the idea. And we often get stuck in labeling it morally as bad. It is bad. But from that place, you can never grow, you can never evolve. So you want to see that everything coming is here for you to evolve.
Wow. Powerful, 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 powerful. Really, we're almost done here, Doctor, and I don't have enough time to just talk about everything because you've capped up a lot of really key points here that we can kind of go over. Just basically rethinking your thoughts through and recognizing your thoughts when they pop up and learning how to deal with them, asking yourself why and things like that, and kind of reevaluating yourself and using it. Really, basically, it sounds like using your negative thoughts to your advantage so you can fill the cracks. Is that correct?
100%. Like, you want to think, why was I born with a mind that gives negative thoughts? That's the way, it knows how to call our attention. And it calls our attention because it's feeling like we need protection. So it's always for the positive.
Wow, this is
carries negative too. You know, you don't want to ignore the negative. It's because most people think so negatively of a negative thoughts. I'm trying to show people the two sides.
Yeah, nobody's really thought about having these negative thoughts and using it as a tool, right? Because it's God put that in place for us to have that on us, but we have to know nobody's understood how to recognize it or fix it or reevaluate it and look at it from a different light so you can correct yourself and rebuild. So things just roll off your shoulders when you have any kind of conflict or rejection or any negative thoughts in your head that really aren't true. So this has just been absolutely your link. It's okay. I'm gonna put your link and from your channels and stuff like that on our website and also in the link description on the social media accounts and the YouTube and all the things that we distribute and that way they can find out and find more information about you, if that's okay. I'd love to have you back on the show one day again, because this has been incredible and I really appreciate your time. Do you have any final thoughts, Doctor?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for shedding light on all of this, because a lot of people need it. Yes. And people can just Google me and they'll find me. And you can feel better pretty quickly once you understand what are the thoughts and emotion that you're having communicating to you. And then you can evolve and you don't rot in the negative.
I tell you what, though, I'm going to be using these guys. I hope you guys to rewatch it again and keep replaying. Play it 10 times over if you want to, guys, because there's some great information in here. You may have to watch it a couple times just to catch what she was saying a couple of times, because it was just great information. Doctor, we really appreciate you guys. I want to have a call to action. Please email me at host@modelwaypodcast.com. If you want any kind of modeling consultation or anything, I'm available for book through the links on our website. Please follow us on our social media accounts, like, subscribe, all these good things. I'm looking forward to see it. My name is Lenny Wheeler. I am the host of the Model Way Podcast, guys. And until next time, hasta la vista.